everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to our session. I'm Betsy Bateman. I'm a member of the RCMB Grant Writing Committee and the RCMB Early Career Professionals Working Group, and we're very excited to have you today for our webinar, A Practical Guide to Foundation Grant Mechanisms. So as a disclosure, this event is going to be recorded. All of the materials presented in the slides are going to be made publicly available and posted on the ATS website following the event. So you will have access to these slides as well as to the recorded webinar. I wanted to give a big thank you to our faculty. We have a really amazing panel of faculty today. We have Dr. Shaver from Vanderbilt University, who's on the ATS Grant Review Committee. We have Dr. Tuggle, who's the Senior Director of Research at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We have Dr. Wilson, who's at Boston University and is the Scientific Director for the Alpha-1 Foundation. Dr. Liu, who's at University of Wisconsin-Madison, and who recently received funding from the ATS. Dr. Tavares, who's at Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital, who's received funding from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, American Lung Association, and ATS. And Dr. Hussein, who's at University of Alabama at Birmingham and has recently received funding from the Alpha-1 Foundation and the American Lung Association. So big thank you to our faculty. I also wanted to thank the RCMB Early Career Working Group members and ATS staff. In particular, I wanted to thank Dr. Jenna Casey and Dr. Luis Rodriguez, who are our fearless leaders on the RCMB Early Career Working Group Grant Writing Committee. This is me, and I wanted to also thank Dr. Scheich for helping me organize this webinar. I also wanted to thank Tiana Lino, as well as Daniel Robledo, who are ATS staff members who helped a lot with both this webinar as well as the Early Career Working Group in general. So without further ado, we'll go through the agenda. These are approximate times, but the webinar overall will last about an hour. We're going to do a brief overview of a general approach to finding foundation funding opportunities, and then we'll hear from Dr. Shaver on an overview of ATS funding opportunities, from Dr. Tuggle with an overview of Cystic Fibrosis Foundation funding opportunities, and from Dr. Wilson with an overview of Alpha-1 Foundation funding opportunities. We'll then switch gears and hear from our recent awardees, Dr. Liu, Dr. Tavares, and Dr. Hussein, with their tips and strategies that they used when they were applying for different foundation funding mechanisms. And then we'll end with a Q&A where you can ask questions to the whole panel. Notably, the chat, I think, is not enabled for this webinar, but you can put any questions in the Q&A, and then at the end, we'll get to those. So feel free to put those in sooner, and we'll just get to them at the end. So our overview. So how do I find foundation grant opportunities? I wanted to start by giving a plug for this resource, the ATS Grant Resource Guide. This is the URL at the top, but it's also easily Googleable. This is a resource that's put together and updated on an annual basis by Scale Professional Development Committee, which I'm also a part of. It actually has all of the list of different foundations as well as the links to them, and then talks about the different eligibility statuses for who may want to apply for different funding mechanisms. Proposal Central also has some free grant opportunities, and some foundations you actually submit your application through this portal, like the American Lung Association, for example. Of course, foundation websites are great resources, as well as your mentors and your colleagues. I think one that before I was putting together this overview, I didn't know as much about. Apparently there are a number of, these are actually really good funding opportunity databases that you can subscribe to. So they do require a paid subscription. However, a lot of institutions actually subscribe to a few of these. And so it's worth talking to the grants office and folks at your institution to see if your institution does subscribe to these, because you may already have access and just not be aware of it.